y'all, it's Hope at Crafty Hope, and welcome. Today is day 12 of the Ugly Art Club's 5-minute challenge. It is also the first day that they have the doors open for the club. So I'll have links to the club and the founders and all of that below so you can learn more about it. But the 5-minute challenge is their lead up to the doors opening, basically, in which they encourage you to take at least 5 minutes a day for 2 weeks and create some art, whether it's ugly art or not, because even if it's ugly art, you got some art made. So it's a great kind of encouragement to really just sit down and create. And I really kind of love it and I like sharing it with you. So this is what I'm doing. I do each time I do the 5-minute challenge, I do something a little bit different. I this time around, I'm working in this little junk journal because the size is really great for just a quick 5 minutes, even though I tend to go over. So I let's see, this page was a little pink scrapbook page, and while it was fine and pretty and all of that, excuse me, I just didn't want to work with pink today. So I've got some scraps on my desk. Actually, that piece of dictionary paper there has got some of the blueprint sketch from yesterday's video. So, yeah, that worked out nicely. So I threw that down with my glue stick, and I've got some other little things right here. I dropped a piece of something I wanted to put in there, so I had to get on the floor and get it so that I could glue it down. And like I said, I'm working this little junk journal. I did make this. I'll have a link to that as well so that you can see how I made it if you want to make something small and similar, because it was just made from some scraps from my scrap box. Now, this time around, the Ugly Art Club has given us prompts. They also have little prompt tabs if you sign up. I'm not using the prompt tabs because, yeah, a couple different reasons. One, I thought it might crowd this junk journal, and also I don't have a color printer. So, yeah. So today's prompt is gather. So I had a couple thoughts on that. You can see up there in the upper right, I have gathered a few things. One of them, I got a couple of beads and sequins and put them on a rusty safety pin. I gathered them together onto there. And then secondly, I've got this piece of fabric that I'm hoping to gather up. So you can see I've glued down all of my collage. That seems to take the largest amount of time for me. And then I've got some Payne's gray that I've watered down a little, and I'm just kind of painting around on the page and now splattering a little bit of that watery Payne's gray. I do love a good Payne's gray. Now I cheat a little with the 5 minutes in that I do stop my timer long enough for me to dry between, because I can't move on. That would I don't know. I would just end up with a mess if I didn't dry. So now that I've got that Payne's Gray paint dry, I've got some Rusty Hinge Distress Oxide and one of my hand-carved stamps. And this one's kind of a viney thing, so I'm just going to stamp it going up the page over on top of that, yeah, on top of everything. And yeah, it always seems, y'all, I'm doing these videos real time since this is only supposed to be 5 minutes. I think speeding it up would make me rush too much. But sometimes I look at these and I'm like, how slow was I moving when I did that? Yeah, I don't realize sometimes that that's where some of my time gets eaten up. So now that I've got that down and some nice little background, I'm going to go ahead and grab this little piece of rust and eco-dyed fabric and my safety pin. Like I said, it's got some different beads and sequins and stuff on it. And I'm going to gather up this piece of fabric just like that. Now I am going to try to be really careful with getting this rusty safety pin through there because I do not want to poke myself and get tetanus and have to go get a tetanus shot. So I'm yeah, it takes a little bit more of my time to kind of just ease my way slowly through it, trying to avoid my other fingers, because y'all, I am a clumsy girl. I spill things and poke myself and all of that all the time, so I don't want to deal with that. So I've got my pretty little gather here, and I want to put it on my page, so I'm going to decide where and then grab some of the Aleene's Tacky Glue. I think that's going to be the best thing to hold it in place for the time being. And so I'm going to squirt it right on my journal page here and then stick that down. And I think I'm getting real close to the end of my time here probably. But I still want to finish up this page because it just doesn't seem quite right. So the next thing I knew I wanted was some white. So I'll grab a Sharpie water-based paint pen and see, there's my time. And prime it just a little so that I can get it to splatter. Now, I think this is a technique I learned from one of the Ugly Art Club founders, Dee Dee. I believe that's right. But that little bit of white splatter really helps brighten up this page. And y'all, that's one of my favorite things. It's splattered onto that fabric as well as onto my safety pin. And I think that, I don't know, there's something about that I really love. And now, because it's me, I need a sentiment. So I grab my, I think it's my Tim Holtz Small Talk stickers, and there's one that says Be Original. And I think this page in itself is fairly original, at least for me. So I'm going to try to stick it on the cloth and realize that that's just not going to work. There's too much texture there. So instead, I'm going to stick it right above my my gathering, my safety pin and the gather there. I'll have to use a little bit of my Oohoo glue stick to get it to glue down. And then what else to do? I decided that that fabric is a little long, so I'm going to tear it down. And y'all, I kind of wish, in looking at this, I saw that that could be a skirt and kind of wanted to stick one of the Tim Holtz paper dolls up at the top of it. But I knew that that was just going to take too much time to find just the right one to do all of that. So I thought, okay, I'll save that idea for another time. So here I am. Sorry for the froggy throat this morning. I'm not quite awake yet. I have a busy day ahead and I'm recording this kind of early. All right, so I've torn that down and I'm going to dry those paint pen splatters real quick. And yep. And then that's it. I hope you enjoyed this. There are 2 more days left of this challenge. Actually, maybe 3, because they did give us 15 prompts. But check out the Ugly Art Club, the founders, all of that. Give me a thumbs up if you like this. Make sure to subscribe, and I will see y'all tomorrow. Bye.